I am REBECA Sanchez. I am from the south of Spain, from Seville, and I do flamenco dance and singer. When I came here to Ireland, I didn't came for doing my art. I came here original just to learn English and work in my other work, that is healthcare assistant. Flamenco's come with me all the time. For example, in my first job here in Ireland, I was working as a waitress in a Spanish restaurant, and I was singing, and I singing for the customer because I was bringing plates and glasses back into the kitchen from the people, and I was singing through because it's something so natural that happened where I come from. We live with music all the time, and one of the days that I was working in the restaurant, came a Spanish group, flamenco group, and I met a guitarist. And this guitarist, he's from Cadiz, that is not too far away from my place, from Seville. And when we started to have a chat, we found that we have in common many things, and we know each other, but we never met. We started to play sometimes together. I changed my work eventually, and I became a healthcare assistant and worked with people with disabilities in Krumlin. Then my guitarist, he started to say, you have to go back to play flamenco and singing and dance because people really like what you do. You're connecting so well with people. I said, people connecting with flamenco because come through from the basic emotion, and everyone can recognize emotion. I moved from Dublin to Cavan, and I started work in the nursing home. That it was kind of the same. I started singing for my residents. Every morning, singing something. They sang for me Irish song, and I sang for them a Spanish song. And then the pandemic came. Everyone was in the lockdown. I was working in front line. I received a call in my phone from the National Concert Hall. They asked me for a flamenco singer to perform in the National Concert Hall with no public during the lockdown. I couldn't do rehearsal with the full orchestra until the day of the show. So the condition of work was completely crazy. It was completely unreal situation. I couldn't do just one rehearsal with the conductor Jaime Martin and the pianist for one day. And then the next day was the show. So just in two rehearsals, do the whole thing. I was in the rehearsal with Jaime Martin, that he's one of the best on the world. And I had a chat with him. And he said, and what did you say that you're doing here? And I said, I'm a healthcare assistant. And he said, why? I said, this is my job. This is what I'm doing. No, you should sing, you should dance. And then he said something so beautiful that he said, look, I did this, because it's a flamenco opera. He said, I did this flamenco opera many times with many different artists. If I have to choose one, I will going to choose you. And I was like, and after that, I started to work more in the professional way that I did before in Spain. Now what I would like to do is be concentrated in disabilities and to bring art through people that doesn't have too much access to, especially for dance and movement. That sometimes people with disabilities, I don't know what is the reason, but there is not so much offer for them. So I try to cover all the range. I never expected to be back to work as a full-time as an artist. Step by step, I try to get more work through the art and disabilities, because sometimes there is a lot of offer about art, but no specific or adapted for people with disability. So I started to do some work with adults and children with disabilities and special needs, and they like it. And it's like it was a big window where they're looking through and improve the speech and improve the skills and movements and to do things that they never did before. Flamenco have a lot of immigration story behind. Flamenco born because it's a mix up of different cultures. Muslim, because in Andalusia we were Muslim for 800 years. So we have a long story of all previous language before to Castilian Spanish. Jewish people, Christians, and Gypsies. And without gypsy community, we cannot explain flamenco. It's completely impossible. And what happened was many people was forbidden to express themselves in the way that they are. And they lost not just the language, they lost also their religion, their belief, the person that you are. So it was created from the community. And in Arabic, there is two different ways to steal. One way is your material things, no? Your house, your money, your car. But the other way is your belief. And when someone forbids your belief, they stole your identity as a human. And flamenco born from that need. The need to be or have the representation of your heritage. And don't forget from where you come from. So these different communities, they started to mix it up step by step. And this create family, because flamenco before to be an art, it was something that was practices just in surround your family, but never outside. It's impossible to understand flamenco if you don't have this little information, because this struggle is part of the history that never was wrote for anyone. So it was passed by heritage through oral transmission, each to other. I did a podcast with a lady that she is from Cavan, Marianne, that she is a Shadows dancer, so good. And we were talking about the way that Irish dance and flamenco dance born. And we have kind of very similar history. Like for all the oppression, the people try to express themselves. And I was so curious because in Andalusian, we express a lot with our hands and with the stamps of the feet. But in the case of Ireland, they put the arms down because they started dancing in places where they have the window, and they didn't want that the people, thought that it was dancing down there. I don't need to change my emotion, even my expression. I still doing the same thing. And people, that's why they connected so quick with flamenco, because everyone recognizes the emotions, because are basically in our life. So when someone is happy, you see straight away, even though you don't speak the same language as the other person, you can know that that person is happy. I know the legend of something, and then the real story. That someone that was spent a lot of time to invest in investigation, paperwork, newspapers and stuff. And there is many things, of course, in common. Like there is a huge part of the story of flamenco that I know is because I growing up in a flamenco community. So I growing up between gypsies and gypsies from different places, like in Portugal and of course Andalusian. And I met also gypsies from outside of Spain, and they are not flamenco. So flamenco is something that is so special in Andalusia because are created from the people who decide to stay in the land. And they try to share. And the only way that you can calm down when there is a lot of racism, when you are forbidden to speak your language, when you are outside of the rest of the society, is create this communication through music. And this is the magical thing, because when I hear singer, I can recognize who is gypsy and who is not gypsy. Now it's a little bit more difficult, but I remember when I was a child, I heard children singing and I couldn't recognize the family to belong to the child, just for the way that they sing. Jesus, we have a lot of talent here in Cavan, and there is not too many advertising about. It's not just the talent, it's the high quality that we have here. I said, maybe this is the point that we need, like to start to collaborate with different, even if we have different background, to start to collaborate to doing different things, to promote each other, to bring up our art. Because when I going outside, this situation happened to me many times. My guitarist, he introduced himself, Juan Jose, and he's living in Dublin, and everyone is like, oh, Dublin, you understand. But then he introduced me. I said, and she's REBECA SANCHEZ, and she come from Cavan. And I heard many times people laughing. And after the show, a lot of people come to me and say, what are you doing in Cavan? in Cavan is nothing. And I said, no, Cavan, we have many things in Cavan. And it's not just the many things that we have, it's the quality, the things that we have. Flamenco is for everyone. And this is something that I have to explain many times. Do you feel pain? Yes. Can you feel sad? Yeah. Can you feel when you're happy? Yeah. You can do flamenco. Because flamenco is not like other arts. Other arts is more technical, like a ballet. There is many aesthetic things surround of the art. But in flamenco, that's never happened. You can find grannies in the 70s and 80 years old dancing flamenco and singing. And people in the wheelchair singing and playing flamenco. And I even had teachers that they have hips problem and they were dancing flamenco. And they were a teacher. Flamenco, because it's growing up into the community and for everyone, we try to give the best for everyone. So it's at the moment for sharing. That is something that we don't practice anymore because we are in social media and we create our own world. But no, to practice the tolerance. And I started to do music with someone that you at the beginning you meet that person and say, I don't like it. But then through the music, step by step, you build it up something. And you started to pull it down a lot of barriers that we can have at the beginning. And this is what Flamenco creates. For me, it's a privilege to work where I live and try to create a community. It's the only thing that I miss here in Cavan is to have a space for dancers and where the dancers can communicate, because I have no idea about all the amazing dancers that we have here in Cavan until I was in the group of Dance Connected and I started to connect with people that are close to me. Everyone has to dance. Look, when you dance, you have another different way to express yourself. Especially when you have children, that sometimes if you are angry, you cannot express yourself in the way that you want because your children are there, you don't want to scare them and you keep all that feeling inside you. When you dance, you have an explosion of emotion. And this everyone have it, women and men. We are the same. Go back to dance. Because when you dance, you have another different way to express yourself and calm down yourself. And when you are calmed down, and when you have your explosion through the dance and the movement and the strength, and you discover all the effort that you need to put to get the movements on the way, this is a blessing.